Hey, Vox here. So, hopefully Madden 23 is going well for you so far, but as you move along in building your team, you're going to want to look to your team builders. And today we're going to rank them from 64 to 1 on the best in the game. This might be a little bit of a long video. We'll see how it turns out. But overall, if you're building a theme team, obviously you're going to grab the 2 theme builders for your theme team. That's, dead up square. But if you're not really doing a theme team this early, which I definitely recommend against because there's so many holes in theme teams, except for maybe like, the Chargers look like a really solid theme team right away, and maybe a few others. But that's not this video. Let's talk about the team builders, okay? Now, I think at the bottom are basically skippage, okay? Like, not even useful unless they're on your theme team. A lot of cards here are really slow, okay? Like, ridiculously slow for positions. Like, let's just sort by, probably most useless for position on the field, which is linebacker, and especially like somebody like Blake Martinez, right? They're really slow, unusable. You do not want to see this card in your field because like your opponent's gonna be 10 speed faster than you. You'll be like playing JV football. They'll be on, a Division I college squad. That's how much faster they'll be than you. It's embarrassing. So I have in these ranking things what I like to call like the O-line wall. Not only are they a wall for your running back, quarterback, whatever, but in these rankings there's the O-line, which are good cards. But let's be realistic. In this year's Madden, with the O-line mechanics how it is, do they matter? Because the 3-3 blitz right now is screwing him up. So you really need like specific adjustments. And, obviously they won't get shedded as much in the run game. It matters. But I'm going to list every single card underneath the O-line wall, which I feel like is, the replacement, right? If you go ahead, and O-linemen, these are great building block O-linemen, okay? But I got about 20-some cards that I just don't think are any good, okay? Like Artie Burns, I watched him play for the Steelers. Do not in any instance ever put Artie Burns on your squad. So even though his stats might not look that he's 64, the worst one, trust, he will screw you. And not in a good way, okay? Not the way you paid to lose your virginity. Okay. Joe Thomas, a sham to the name, another slow one. Blake Martinez, say away. Shaq Thompson. You're seeing a lot of linebackers, positions that are awful. You're also seeing a few like, running backs, cornerbacks, guys that I feel like because there are so many players at that position, say halfback, okay? Guys at this position, right? We got guys like 85 speed here. Why would you go somebody 83 right here? Like you're looking at Elijah Mitchell, for example. Now, I don't think Elijah Mitchell's a bad running back. I just think there's so many running backs out there. There is no reason to get this guy when there's so many other ones that are just better than him. So it's not worth wasting your time and effort on somebody that's actually not going to be costing that much less than just guys straight up better than them, okay? So that's kind of where I put my 64 to 41, and I don't want to waste any more breath on them. Obviously, guys like run stoppers, if you really need them. I think we got better ones higher on the list, like, Derek Wolf's okay. Once we get here, like, we're getting some okay cards that can play on your field, and I don't hate many of these ones, but I do hate them, actually. They're actually horrible cards and should be sent only into your bike spokes. That's where you should put those cards. So here is the O-line wall. I don't have them really a particular order because, as you guys know with offensive line, it completely depends on your scheme. It really depends if you're a runner or a passer. Like I talked about with passing, there's the 3-3-5 normal glitch blitz that we're all facing like 80 to 90% of our games, it feels like right now. Although today I surprisingly didn't face a lot of them. It was weird. Like I think I played like, 8 games and those man blitzes, I think I only faced like 2 of them. It was so weird in Weekend League today. But anyways, you need to look at what you're going to do, okay? And how you're going to play the game. If you're going to run the ball a lot, obviously you want the guys with a higher run block, the 83 run block versus the guy with, say, 80 run block there at right tackle. So Storm, he is 66 speed, acceleration, agility, which is actually pretty good for a lineman. And so, like, it also depends on which kind of runs you run. And especially for somebody like guards and stuff, it really matters the speed. So 59, 68, 64, those speed numbers aren't the greatest. And then you go ahead and go by Trey Turner, very similar there at guard. So we're not seeing these guards aren't very agile. Kelly there's in the 60 speeds, Bozeman 60, Blythe. So they're pretty close to each other. Blythe's maybe a little bit slower, but higher acceleration, agility. So that's basically, I can't judge what scheme you're going to run. basically, if you are a passer, though, okay, you want to look at pass block power and pass block finesse here, okay? Those are the big important things to look at, and you can kind of ignore running, depending on how much running you're doing. But that's kind of, I just want to like lay the groundwork. So like Quisenberry would be an awful right tackle, because if you go against a guy that's a finesse move, he will take your lunch money. It's going to be very hard for your right tackle to hold up to him in pass protection if you got a guy like, swimming past you every single down, because the important way, how you get beat in this game is the difference between pass block finesse and the finesse move on defense. Unless, of course, you're running glitch pits, then none of it even matters. So, but life doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and start with the guys I think that are above the O-line wall. So we're going to go with Tim Patrick. Now, you're probably telling me, like, Tim Patrick, he's slow. True. But as we've seen this year, and especially with tight ends at 6'8", height matters. So 82 speed is like, not even tight end speed right now with a lot of cards that you have out there. But 6'4" is tight end height. You could split it wide. Obviously, you can split tight ends wide. So does this have a lot of value? No. But I did want to bring it in because if I wouldn't have, Fred Zilla probably would have bullied me if I didn't include a Bronco right there. All right. Number 27 here. Let's just go ahead and type in names. Reid. Jarron Reid. So the reason why he's here, he is super slow, 61, but he's over 300 pounds, and he has really decent block shed there, okay? So if you need somebody, whether it's on the on the edge, or he's more of like a 3-4 defensive end. He's slow, but at least he can shed a block. So I don't know. I really debated on this guy that's being this high, but the block shed being 85 is right up there, competitive with some of the best cards in the game. So Jarron, I worry about the speed being able to block shed and then not being able to catch the running back as it runs by you. This was another tough one because I haven't used Davis Mills, but I have used other quarterbacks here, and they were really good. Davis Mills. So Mutt.gg took all of their player, I think, throws down. At least it's not on this card, because it changed year over year. It's no longer what it was last year. They've updated QB releases. Obviously, Rodgers still has the best release if you watch the stream. But Davis Mills, I haven't used, so I was unsure how to rank him. So I just got, kind of conservative and put him at 26, and hopefully that's not too bad. If you guys have used Davis Mills, if you're Texans fans, let me know how is he in the comment section below, because I haven't really used him. There's been so many quarterbacks that we've had to try out. I haven't got to him. Cam Akers. I kind of like him due to the catching. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, here's the thing about Cam Akers. He's had incredibly glitchy cards in the past. So like you can look at him and be like, whoa, you killed another running back, Mitchell, for having 83 speed. But, personally, I've used Cam Akers cards in the past and had a lot of success with them. So this is more from using the card than looking at his speed stat. And he's got really good agility and stuff. Change direction 79, which is brutal. So we'll see how much the really good agility versus the really bad change of direction kind of matters for this card. But overall, I don't know. It's kind of just from personal experience. Cam Akers makes it this high on the list. Number 24, actually, and number 23 are both middle linebackers. They're the fastest middle linebackers in this promo. But the problem with middle linebackers in general, they don't jump. I've seen so I just today used the new Mills card that came out today, like the God tier middle linebacker, Sam Mills, and he was trash. He was terrible. He did not play the run very well. So it is really nice to have these kind of guys between Jerome Baker, Devin Bush. Actually, I should probably put Devin Bush above Jerome Baker because of the hit power. But I don't think linebackers matter that much. They still just are clueless out on the field. But yeah, I definitely think so. They're really just due to the position. Devin Bush is a nice card. Obviously a Steeler, so maybe a little bias plays into that. But overall, I they're there for like goal line situations, I guess. Jerome Baker's 225 and Devin Bush is 234. So they're okay for goal line situations, since you will need to go to 5-3 in order to stop QB sneak this year. At least that's my QB sneak defense. We went with a little bit of a thick boy here at 22 in order to kind of help stop the run. Let's just look up Day, I guess. Yeah, he was a left end. I was thinking he was good when we went him. 310 pounds, either left end or D tackles. 70 speed, so not a blazer there. We got a little bit quicker defensive tackles out there. Run stopping D end. I do believe that gets inside stuff if memory serves correctly. 84 block shed is solid. Maybe not as much as it's only a one off what we talked about with Jarron, but he is significantly faster. And let's see, he does not get inside stuff at tier 1. Since he's only 84, he doesn't get tier 2 ability. So I do like 84 block shit though with 70 speed and at 310. We got Kennard here at 21. So you got to build your team to handle different situations, but putting 50K into a team builder just to stop the run and that's it, you could probably do different things and better things with it. But I do want to show that certain cards have a role, and like a lot of cards underneath maybe the low line wall don't have as nearly as effective role in their certain situations that you can put them in. So it all Madden comes down, football comes down to using the right tool for the situation, and that's why Belichick has been so good for so many years. It's because he melds his scheme to fit the talents of his team, and having like the greatest quarterback of all time on it, that helps a little bit, but that's what he's done really well on defense and stuff. So that's kind of what you got to do when you're looking through a lot of these cards. Look through their strengths and use them, right? 87 power move is great. It's up there with some of the highest cards in the game for power move. 80 speed is perfectly cromulent too. It's not insane, but like let's reset this. I want to see what is the highest power move in the game right now, and how close is 87 to it. Power move. Highest power move is 89. So he's only 2 off the best pass rush move in the game, which, it's kind of nice, okay? All right, let's go to next on the list. And here is where we start to get tall tight ends. If you've played this game, you guys know how crazy just like throwing it high to players can get you bailed out. So 6'5", 80 speed. He's not a blazer, which is why he's not higher on this. And 80 speed is maybe even too low because in the man coverage meta, you do need to get separation and stay separated, and then get with your tight end especially get rack yardage, right? The thing is, he can run over DBs at 251 at 6'5", and that's something that he is effective on, but maybe 80 speed a little bit low, which is why he is not any higher on this list. But, tall dudes, height and speed. Madden's back to its roots, baby. Anthony Brown, talk about speed, 85. Doesn't have the height, though, and that's kind of why he's here. His zone coverage 77, man coverage 84. So a little bit better at man than zone. I really want to get the man over 90, personally. Zone over 75 is fine. It's not ideal. He's not going to knock the ball out a lot, but he will react, and he won't be too dumb out there. But he's not going to be a genius out in the field. But speed is what you need. So he's number 19. We're starting to get into a little bit more usable cards here that will compete with the top end ones that you'll see online. I mean, these cards are 50K a pop. They should be able to compete with the top one. This right here, Jalen Mills, 84 zone coverage guy, 6 foot, solid. That's all I can say about this card is solid. You don't love him in man coverage, especially because you're not like broaching 90 or 86 speed on the card. So you'll probably get lost a little bit in man coverage. And I have used this card in man coverage and gotten lost. Sammy Watkins here at number 17. New Packer Watkins. He's been moving around a little bit. So Sammy, 84 speed again. I think it's just fine speed. You really aren't going to cause a lot of separation in man press with Sammy Watkins, but I think it's usable-ish compared to the rest of them. And a lot of these things are really only good on a theme team. William Jackson, same way. Don't want to talk about too much about him. It's just a perfectly fine corner. Okay, man. Okay, zone. But he's not going to like go insane for you like some other cards. Brandon Graham, I do like this card with the decent block, defense power move, and like underrated. Like if you look at the traits here, he's a trait god. He has every single best trait for a defensive lineman in the game. So he's one of those guys that will play above their attributes. And Brandon Graham's attributes, like I said, are good. He's not a blazer. He's got good power move, good block shit like I talked about, but a trait god should help him rise in the rankings a little bit. Number 14, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers himself. Now, I have not used this Chase Claypool, okay? But from what I've heard from people in chat, Chase Claypool's been very good for them. Again, 6'4", 84 speed on this card. Spec catching if you do throw it high to him. So just a big physical target if you do need to throw high points, if you do need somebody to kind of dunk on some smaller corners for your team. And obviously down the road, when maybe I put together a Steelers team, Claypool might be on it. Pete Werner here, you're like, Pete Werner, what the heck? Werner, I thought you hated, despised linebackers, okay? Well, there is the 3-3-5 blitz, and Werner, he's got 84 speed, right? I think Diablo's got 86, which is like the best one. But if you don't want Diablo and you want to use Werner, if you're a Saints fan or something, he'll be okay, right? Like, against the run, 81 block shed. Like, on the 3-3-5 blitz, I think I'd rather have linebackers doing it, so that way I can stop the run a little bit better. So Werner does have a role there, in my opinion, which is why he's here. 84 speed, 86 acceleration. I think he's perfectly fine with that. The thing is, like, if he gets caught up, though, he's really not going to shed on the pass rush. So that's the downside of using him. One more right above Werner is Zach Ertz. So Zach Ertz is 6'5", 83 speed. Again, a tall, tight end. I just love the way Zach Ertz plays in this game, too. He's been a guy, and maybe this year is the year he falls off and he doesn't play that well, but he has just played well for me over the years, which is why I give him a little bit more of a bump versus guys that are like comparable, and maybe you know, you're like, well, TJ Hockenson looks a little bit better. That's fair, but you know, that's Zach Ertz, man. Get off me. Number 11, another rare position to get some decent speed, Leonard Floyd. Plus the thing about Floyd, and I'll show you why Floyd is special here. Left outside linebacker, 83 speed, so a little bit slower than Werner, but he's 6'5", right? So like, if you guys don't know, one way to beat the contain blitz is like throw to your running back or stuff like that in the flats and stuff, because like the running back sometimes get misaligned versus safeties and stuff, and you get a lot of rack yards. But with Floyd's huge frame, it happened to me today. I think Diablo did it to me today. They go around you and you're trying to like throw around him, like the running back's wide open by like 20 yards, but somehow they just pick it, right? They're just like somehow between it, and your quarterback decides to throw at him instead of throwing at your running back, which would be easy to block, easy to run around, because they're not jumping, right? They're not jumping here when they're blitzing, but they are picking balls. They can't use their arms to knock it down, and they're very effective at knocking it down, by the way. So his big frame on that 3-3-5 blitz that we see will absolutely like piss your opponents off and get them to rage quit when he picks a ball like that against that absolute terrible meta that we're currently seeing. Cole Kmet, slow, but I got an extra inch to throw it high to. Just dunk on dudes. I got nothing else to say about Cole Kmet. Okay, just dunk, dog. Next two guys are very comparable running backs. I can put them in any order. Coleman or Dobbins. Okay, we looked at them a little bit earlier. We'll look at them once again for the halfback position. I think 85 speed. It's crazy out there. I think the run game is actually really good right now. Very powerful, insane. Stretch, counters, dives, all awesome. And I've seen that running backs just look faster than defenders on the field. I don't know. I'm getting light boxed in nickel this year where all my defenders look really slow when I know they have more stamina than the running back. I see it on the field. But like 85 speed will look like 95 speed sometimes against some defenders out there, depending on how the set works out. So overall, I really like both these running backs. You can put them in any order. I might like Coleman the best, because I think tall guys, at least in previous matches, juked a little bit better. So he's got a couple inches on Dobbins. Coleman does. So maybe Coleman might play a little bit better. Dobbins might fit between holes a little bit more. I don't know. But that's my thought. Next up on the list is somebody short, but one of the faster guys. Scotty Miller's 86 speed. I don't want to talk any more about him. That's all I want to see about Scotty. Tua Tongue Lovia right here. So Tua here, a lefty. I don't like lefties. If you like lefties, he'll be fine. But he's on the list. 83 speed. Nice dual threat quarterback, Tua, for your Dolphins theme team before they get, say, Marino. We got Jason Verrett in the top 5, breaking it. Verrett, once again, you're going to see the fastest guys in the promo now. 86 speed, really kind of gets up to them with the max speed now right now in the game. Like, Randy Moss came out today with 87 speed, okay? So if he's only 1 speed off Randy Moss, you're sitting pretty. The only thing you're not pretty about, and why he's not number 1 on this list, is he's only 5'10". So somebody that hits that max speed, acceleration, change of direction is a little bit low, obviously agility higher, but a zone corner, man coverage, you might get burned a little bit. 75 is a little low for my taste, but zone coverage at 84 should be a pretty decent corner out there. Get you some picks. Really played pretty well for me. And Jason Verrett, guys, that number have played well for me. Talk about a 3-3-5 guy or just like a regular pass rusher. This Bud Dupri, 6'4", again, a big body, fast, great acceleration, but like, look at his power move then, right? On top of the speed, he also has an incredible power move, and that's why he's 4. You could either, glitch out the blitz with him, or you could just run him as a straight defensive end or edge, whatever you want to call it. As an edge rusher, this Bud Dupri is incredible for the price. Heck, you can maybe use him at 6'4". Your guy won't jump, but 84 speed at 6'4", there are worse users out there. Number 3, this might be a big confusing one for people. Justin Reid. Maybe not that confusing. 6'1", good height, right? 85 speed, really good speed. Agility is really good. Change direction a little bit lower. Zone and man at 80 and above. The crazy thing about this Justin Reid is he always, every year in Madden, again, one of those guys that plays above his stats. I don't get why, but Justin Reid seems to be all over the place. I know earlier today, he was like unavailable in packs. I think that's got patched right now. But I mean, like, he doesn't have insane traits where they with big hitter, doesn't have clutch. He doesn't have high motor. I think this right here, plays ball and air aggressive, is probably potentially the reason why he plays so good. Because, like, if you guys remember Madden last year, do you guys remember the out of position Jimmy Graham 6'7" free safety? We saw his stats, we saw his height, we're like, wow, this is the most insane free safety ever. And then when you actually used him out on the field, he was terrible. He never jumped. He wasn't a great safety. It was my most hated card last year. I kept using him, kept wanting him to be better than he was, and he never proved it to me. And he had play ball conservative. So I think the fact that this guy's aggressive, strips ball, yes, nice. The fact that he's aggressive, high motor, is the why Justin Reid seems to play above his overall in Madden. So if you need a strong safety, you don't know if you got the 50,000 coins to do it, I think Justin Reid is 100% worth the try. Okay. Wait, I missed somebody. Oh yeah. I didn't put in the last 2. I was like, wait, why am I in 5? Justin Reid and Bud Dupri are 3 and 4. Number 2, get at me, New York. New York, Daniel Jones. I love this guy's release this year. I use this card. This might be, top 3 releases in the game right now. They did take down his throw release. I think it was like Slinger 3. No, it was Generic 2. I think it was Generic 2. Maybe that was it last year. I don't remember. But when I looked in the rosters, he's got the same release as Ritter, who's also a well-loved quarterback in this game. But this guy's 6'5", right? 6'5". Daniel Jones played really well for me. It's not like on short passes, it's not as quick as A-Rod. Don't get me wrong. But you can do a lot worse. I really like this Daniel Jones card. Number 1, though, it is MVS. 86 speed at 6'4". It's height and speed. Now, I don't, his route running isn't insane. I don't think he gets short in elite. I'd have to double check if he gets short in elite or not. Let's go to abilities, actually, since they updated it. He does not get short in elite, is his only downside. So if you have, I would have short in elites like on tight ends or receivers. But if you, need a receiver that's really good and like maybe you don't have the spare AP where you can't get a receiver short in elite, I think this is a great one to fill there for a good point. One of the better receivers in the game, as long as you don't require short and elite for your routes to beat man. This is the guy you want. So that is the list from 1 to 64 on the team builders. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys, I hope this helped break it down for some of you on ones to get a lot of names here. Like I said, this is the don't even try it. You can try them. Gallup's okay, I'd say. Fine, whatever, if you really are a big fan of Gallup. But overall, I would just pass on anything under the O-line. And like I said, $50K for an O-lineman. If you got the coins, it's fine. It's just inadvisable right now. And then those are the ones we actually went through and ranked and talked about each one of them. So hopefully this helped out. I will see you guys tomorrow.